Hi guys, this is NXL 360. Yeah, with 1010. Good evening, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Whenever you're watching this podcast, guys, thank you so much for supporting us by watching the previous episode. Obviously, it did well for a channel that is growing like ours. It reached 9,000 on the on first day. Like we don't usually reach those numbers. Obviously, to people like Junior Kanye and them, it's a small thing, it's nothing. But to us, something huge. Basically, just shows that a lot of people are reaching an Excel 360. They're starting to watch, and we appreciate all the feedback, the insults. Some of them I had last week when I was talking to 1010. I was told that I'm speaking nonsense. Guys, I appreciate the feedback that you are giving us. Obviously, you don't have to always agree with us. That is supporting us also by liking or subscribing. Even if you want us in event in your, like, let's say you have an MC event in your company, 1010 is available. It's not even a lot of money for a 20,000 e-wallet. Yeah. Or even Rose is available. Even me, guys. I mean, that will be another way of supporting the channel. We will be willing to travel anywhere around the Southern Africa because we know we've got people in Swaziland, people in Lesotho, people in Mozambique and Botswana. I think 1010 has got even relatives in German, guys. Yeah, okay, let's get into it. 1010, hope you're good, my brother. Yeah, that was a long intro, but the story is, guys, it's about football. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe. NXL 360 and also share it to people that you know. Look, tomorrow at Orlando Stadium in Soweto, the former home ground of 1010. I remember 1010 used to play for Orlando Pirates. I mean, 1010 guys was a star. Yo, the guy. I remember we used to criticize him and insult him at SAPC. To 1010, you know, what was the other guy? It was 1010, Benny Mutuaro. Why am I shouting the defense, guys, when you caused Pirates to win the league 1010? Who, like, where are those players? Please remind me, it was you, Mpomako.
It was a good team, Nadim, man. The back bekwabo happy, abondengane, no, abomayela, abodube. We had quite a good team. Just unfortunate. Ezinye izinto when it's not meant to be at that time. That's why it didn't.
Yeah, definitely 1010. That was a great team, Orlando Pirates. It was Rulane Mkwena and Michu. They nearly won the league. Obviously, they won it by, I mean, that game when they drew with Cape Town City in Cape Town. It gave Sundowns. Big coach Peter Msimane later on. Guys, we'll also talk about Peter Msimane. I don't know what we're hearing now. We're hearing that he wants Adidas to pay him and Standard Bank. He wants to be paid, guys, allegedly, Peter, to wear the Bafana tracksuit. On top of the 10 million salary per year. Now he wants, because he says it's a brand. Okay, we'll talk about it later. But for now, we're previewing the game between Orlando Pirates and Skukune, which is obviously the second leg of the M108. Then the second one, it's Mamelodi Sundowns versus Golden Arrows. In actual fact, it's Golden Arrows versus Mamelodi Sundowns because remember, the game is at King Goodwill Zwelithini Stadium. Yeah, that was a proper quick King, guys. Remember, King, very respectable King, humble, unlike the current King, King Misizulu, who insult people on social media and all those kind of things. 1010, who's winning tomorrow is a very simple one. That one, what are you expecting from Orlando Pirates? Who's winning? Are you starting with Mbutuma or Radio Pan?
Nadim, it's a second leg of the semi-final, you know, Iwafa, as they all say it. Says with anything can happen. I mean, 1-0 is not a safe score. But looking at the previous two games Orlando Pirates have played against this Cocoon, Orlando Pirates has an upper hand, Nadim, and they showed that they have a better quality, even with a lot of unknown players, because people haven't relatively started understanding and knowing the players full on. But, you know, there is quite some excitement at Orlando when they watch these young boys being introduced and playing. And you saw even with a huge number of change in the lineup. When last did you see Uhoto having the Orlando Pirates unbelt? A lineup without Utito, a lineup without Umbutuma, a lineup without Muremi. It was a huge change. So, but Orlando Pirates did manage to walk away with a 2-0 victory. They took the 3 points and now they are going into their third encounter against Isikhukhune in 7 days, which for me now, it's not easy to come out from a losing streak, Nadim. It's the same thing as coming from a winning streak. You build the momentum. Once you allow to get used into something, it becomes difficult to let go of it. It's like my habits, Once you become a heavy smoker, a heavy drinker, you get addicted. So as in football, once you become like a preview to losing games, that thing builds up and it builds up. So Isikhukhune has built a momentum to losing consistently against the Orlando Pirates now. It's more like a pattern. They lost 1-0 away game and they came here at Orlando for the league encounter during the week. They lost 2-0. Now they are coming. I think they have to go all out, but I don't see them coming all the way and winning. Yes, they have a chance because they have nothing to lose. But looking at the previous 2 games, I think Orlando Pirates, and simply because they're playing at home and it's not easy to dominate the Pirates when they are playing at home. The numbers that the supporters are bringing on board, they make a huge difference. They become like an extra influence to push their home team. So I think Orlando Pirates is going to walk away with a win.
Yeah, 10-10, I hear that. And then what is it? Who do you start with at Orlando Pirates? Do you start with Mbuthuma or Rediopane? Basically, how do you approach this game?
Honestly, Nadim, for me, you are always as good as your last game, And Radiopane has did fairly well in the previous game. He contributed in 2 goals. He scored the opener. He created the second goal. If he was a selfish player, he would have wanted to take that shot for himself, the second goal. But he's a team player. He's not playing for himself. And he's saying to the coach, you can rely on me. Even if it means I can't score, I still have a capability of making sure my teammates score. Despite the fact he had already scored, but it was a good thing for him to give Apoli so that the confidence Apoli can come back. We know how harsh the internet or the people have been Apoli ever since they came back from the World Cup. But having him to score Orlando under the enormous pressure that he's been facing, I think it was a good thing. As good as this boy was the previous game, I would continue with him. Mbuthuma was not there on the starting lineup. Radiopane raised up his hands and said, Coach, I'm scoring, I'm creating for you. Give me the second opportunity to start. So I think I would start with Mbuthuma. And if Omoremi is back, it's always good to circulate your wingers, but have him on the bench and continue with the team that finished strong previously. Don't make too much changes because this thing, it's a momentum. You don't want to break the momentum of your team.
Yeah, indeed, 10-10. You don't want to break the momentum of your team. I agree with you. I think Rediopane should start, and Orlando Pirates, the way they must approach this game, I don't know. Why will it defend against Kukune, guys? I mean, this is a team that tried their best during the week. It wasn't to be. They lost again 2-0. I think Orlando Pirates must just... Yes, I agree with 10-10. Hoto scored that goal. Then the second game, he came in with an armband. That just shows that you reward consistency and high-level performance. I think if the coach of Orlando Pirates can do that 10-10, he can be on something there, because what Pirates need now, they don't need players who will play well and then they find themselves in a bench, because it will end up looking like you need to have connection like Mbuthuma to be in the starting lineup. So is there any chance Sekhukhune can do something, get something? Is there any chance for Sekhukhune? What is it that they must do? We know football, obvious, anything is possible. If Sekhukhune win 2-1, they are going through the final. What is it that they need to do to upset Orlando Pirates? Remember, they did beat Orlando Pirates before at Orlando Stadium. So it's not like something, in the last 3 matches at Orlando Stadium, they won 2. So it's not like something that they've not done before. But what is it in this case that you think they need to do?
Nadim, to be honest, I think Isikhukhune, as much as we know in football, anything is possible, and proper planning will prevent their poor performances. So if they want to go against Orlando Pirates and make sure they become the party spoilers, because Orlando Pirates is chasing their 5th MTN 8 in a row, which that on its own, it's another history making that they are chasing, So Isikhukhune, if they want to be party owners, which is something that they've done before, to go at Arena Stadium and come back with maximum points or become victorious. So I think they first have to fix the problem that they are dealing with and they are having at the back, because you look at the games that they play, Isikhukhune are they've conceded a lot of goals in a few number of games that they've played. They went to AmaZulu, they won, yes, they won, but they won 4-3. It means Uguti, they were vulnerable as well. They conceded 3 goals. They went to Orlando, they conceded 2 goals. Orlando Pirates went to them, they scored 1. So they need to make sure Uguti, they fix their doors at the back. Because if you are not conceding goals, you don't stand a chance of losing a game. It's either you can draw, or when you convert your chances, you can become victorious. But if they are not going to be able to shut the back door, then their chance of progressing from the semi-final to the final are slim to none. They have to first focus on making sure Guti they conserve the Orlando Pirates for as long as they can, and at least try to make sure Guti they get 1 goal, whether it's a counter attack or in. But as long as they know Guti they are going to be solid, they shouldn't be naive and come with the attitude of saying, we've got nothing to lose, and they would want to be reckless and be all over the place. Then they will be punished, and dismally so, because we know Guti they are capable of conceding more than 2 goals. And now if you're going to go to Orlando Pirates without the caution and playing in their home advantage, then you will be in trouble. So they need to make sure Guti their back door is shut, and at least hope to get 1 or 2 goals, whether counter or in, or they can prolong the game. Because if they would finish the game on a 90-minute leading 1-0, they can push it until to the penalties. But the only thing that can help them to have a chance is to at least make sure Guti they shut the back door, and whatever that they'll create, and be hopeful Guti they score 1.
Yeah, that's a great one from 1010. I agree with everything he said. They need to first make sure they don't concede, because they concede, like, imagine winning 4-3. Like, you're already conceding 3 goals in 1 game. That's just a high number of conceding. Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for Sekhukhune. Patrick Katz did start well, obviously. Won against Durban City. Then he went to beat AmaZulu. Obviously lost to Kaizer Chiefs. But Sekhukhune, the team that have been a problem to them, they only lost to Chiefs and Pirates. But we'll see how they fare. But I don't think it's a sign that Sekhukhune, I think they made a mistake at 1010 by releasing all the experienced players last season. Most of the experienced players they had to let go. Now they look weaker. Like before, when Linda Mtambo was there, Monare, all the Kropla, all the experienced guys, they look like a team that can scare you. I don't think any team, they don't look scared. Yeah. They don't look scared. 1010, as you wrap, what's your score prediction on this game between Sekhukhune and Orlando Pirates? Expect Pirates to continue winning again. Even a draw is going to be good enough, right?
Yeah, definitely. Even a draw is good for Orlando Pirates. But when you're playing at home and you have to entertain, you are a bigger team than what Sekhukhune is. It's true. Orlando Pirates still is a bigger team than Sekhukhune, and they look like a better team, even in playing, even in creating chances, in dominating the game. Giving the prediction here 2-1, victory to Orlando Pirates.
Yeah, that's a prediction of 1010. Yeah, it believes Pirates 2-1. They'll concede at Orlando Stadium. Yeah. That's just like they did against Durban City. I think it was 2-1. That just means that game will be very close. But I think Pirates will just do enough to win the game 2-0. I think that's the score I'm predicting. I think they won't concede. They will still score 2 or more goals. Sebastian Peterson, 1010, as we wrap, before we move on to Mamelodi Sundowns one. What's your take on him? Because a lot of people are calling me asking that I must ask you. Some of them, they want to know what's my opinion. What is your take? Do you think the guy will and eventually become a great player at Pirates? Because when you see a great player, when you watch football for too long, you can see there's quality there. Have you seen something from him? Magatif is maybe not in a good position to score. Anywhere you see that, I remember when I was watching John Obi Mikel for the first time live playing football, I said, one touch. Like, not fancy. That this is a quality. Do you get the same feeling when you're watching Sebastian, that this guy is quality?
Nadim, I don't really like judging people when they haven't really settled. And a reason being is that Sebastian is new and he's from Europe. First, you have to acclimatize to the weather, the site. You have to acclimatize to the tradition, to the style of living, to the fields, the air, the people, the style of play. I don't really want to say I can give a fair judgment. It would be unfair for me to start predicting and saying, it does not have quality, or he does have the quality.
No, 1010. Remember, I'm asking you as a professional player who played at a higher level. When you see him touching the ball, just like his positioning, you get to see, oh, this guy is quality. There's something on this guy. Just like Langale Tepili. Something that guy is quality. Langale Tepili. 10-10 is quality. What you see Langale Tepili, even the runs that he makes, that boy is quality. I'm disappointed that he got injured. He's out for 2 months. But it's quality. So you get the feeling when you see him. Sebastian Peste. That is the only question. Yes or no? Or
It is a symbol on. I wish to see him and a start, as a few minutes, then maybe we can have a fair judgment on him, what type of a player he is. Is he a player that we hoped for him to be? Kumbule, the country that he comes from, already people, when you talk about the striker, they match them to Ohalat, So there's been a lot of speculation.
10-10. I understand 10-10. I respect that. I understand it. Let's move on to Sundowns. You don't want at all you want to see him properly starting and have a fair assessment. You don't want to judge him based on 2 substitutions where Orlando Pirates were already leading. You feel like the team was already defending, so he's yet to get proper supply. I see where you're coming from, and I respect that. And I agree. I'm not saying you're running away from the question, because it's different when a player just came in when the team is chasing a game, but when now the team is now defending. Then please take us on Sundowns are playing tomorrow in Durban. Obviously, last week you're correct. I was wrong. You said Arrows can draw or even win at Sundowns. Obviously, I was wrong, which is rare that I get a score prediction wrong, because as far as I know, I'm the best in South Africa in terms of getting score prediction. Please take us on the game between Golden Arrows and Mamelodi Sundowns.
It's not going to be an easy one, Nadine, because Golden Arrows are playing at home, if my memory serves me well. And it's not easy as well to play Golden Arrows in the backyard. But, Angazi, man, my mind is shifting me now to saying I see Mamelodi Sundowns coming back, and probably their previous game when they played against Amazulu, unless something else happened. But Mamelodi Sundowns having Utebogo Mokoena back is a huge boost for the team. Not only him playing in the field, but the aura, the confidence that he spreads around to his teammate. When they have Mokoena, it's as if there's a change. There's that extra energy being pumped into their lungs. So I feel Uguti Mamelodi Sundowns, they're going to do the same as the Golden Arrows did to them. The Mamelodi Sundowns, the previous game is much stronger than the Sundowns that was playing against the Golden Arrows. I mean, that Mamelodi Sundowns was a Mamelodi Sundowns that played with Ujohannes in the center back. The boy has played the right back the entire of his professional career. We don't know about his amateur side. So when you have Ujohannes playing in the center back, you already see Mamelodi Sundowns are a bit scrappy. When you see them playing Mtunyelwa, not having Umutau after the injury, Uguti, that's not a strong Mamelodi Sundowns. When you have them playing the young Mokoena and not the old Mokoena, that's a weaker Nyana Mamelodi Sundowns. But now they have Morena back, they have Mokoena back, they have Unto, the center back. Grant Kekana is also playing back with Umalibongwe. Umalibongwe also had a fairly good game, But the worry that I also have, it's as if Mamelodi Sundowns now, they easily concede. It's no longer that solid Mamelodi Sundowns that can just dominate you without even conceding a goal. They score goals, but they are still a bit shaky. They concede a lot of goals, man. But I see them coming victorious. Probably, I foresee this game going to penalties. I see Mamelodi Sundowns winning the game 2-1. Unless if away goal rule does count, then they will go through with that. But I see them scoring 2 goals.
Yeah. 10-10. The away goal rule indeed does count. If Sundowns win 2-1, they are going to the final. So you think Sundowns are going to go beat Arrows at home and go to the final? That's your final prediction, that you are going to see Orlando Pirates versus Mamelodi Sundowns?
Yeah, I foresee a Mamelodi Sundowns versus Orlando Pirates final this season. The repeat of what Umofokeng once did to Mamelodi Sundowns. So without Umofokeng, we don't know. But I see a Mamelodi Sundowns Orlando Pirates, because they are the strongest teams that I see in the league. Currently, they are the number 2 with the same number of points. Just a smaller Nyana goal difference, which is a 1, But Mamelodi Sundowns has scored more goals, but they've conceded a lot as well. So Orlando Pirates has only conceded 1 goal in the league.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one. For me, I deeper with you 10-10 is that Golden Arrows have played 6 games, 4 in the league where they drawn 3 and won 1. All the 3 games they were goalless draw, and then they'll beat Stelis during midweek. Chadian striker or Ivorian striker Dion scored a winner in both games that they've won. Okay, they won. I think this was shares at FNP Stadium when they beat Chiefs. So imagine in 6 games, 10-10, they are yet to concede a goal, Golden Arrows. In the MTN 80, they beat 10 Kaizer Chiefs at FNP Stadium. Something even Mamelodi Sundowns failed to do. In actual fact, they were lucky Sundowns to even come up with a 1 point. They should have lost that game. The only reason Sundowns came with a draw is because Brendan Peterson is back to his unnecessary mistakes. And last week at Lucas Moripe Stadium, obvious, Sundowns lost 1-0. Dion scored again. So I feel it's a team caught by Pitso Dladla, a coach who nearly cost Orlando Pirates the league. When all of us, even me, I was sure that Durban City were going to lose 2 or 3-0 against Orlando Pirates. He went to Orlando Pirates and frustrated them to a point where they couldn't even score 1 goal. Guys, this is a very good coach. We need to appreciate him because he also won the Nedbank Cup. I mean, the guy, he took from Padela and he now won the Nedbank Cup. That just tells you one thing. This guy is a very good coach. The only reason maybe he didn't keep his job at Durban City is because he was not colored or white. If he was colored or white, I believe he was going to be coaching for Durban City this season. So I think 10-10, yeah, they are wrong, my friend. I think it's going to be a clean 0-0 for Golden Arrows and they'll go to the final. Even if
No,
they'll be
definitely not. Demo coach.
Yeah.
Coach Zaza for me now, he is one of the top coaches that is now showing himself, you know. He's putting himself like visible to the entire football fraternity, like South Africa. He changed Durban City, and you even see Golden Arrows, the discipline that they have. But I'll still go with my instinct to say Mamelodi Sundowns are going to become victorious. I know they haven't conceded, they look solid at the back, but it's just unfortunate with the chances that Sundowns created let them down when they played against Golden Arrows. There's a chance where
No, Motiba. Is Motiba the striker?
Yes.
Yeah.
Motiba, the chance
he missed
that
2 chances, yeah.
So you see, with a better quality, and not to say Ulebu is not a better quality, but his confidence hasn't been in the right places. He hasn't been playing regularly, so he's not sharp. But now they have almost their key players. The only key player that makes a huge difference, we line up your Sundowns, that's not going to be there, Overvai. But with them having Umukwena available, if the forwards can't score, the boy, he goes himself and makes sure he comes back with a goal. Hence, I'm confident with this prediction to say I see Mamelodi Sundowns winning this game. The same thing that Golden Arrows did to Sundowns, and we all know how vulnerable Sundowns is when they're playing at Lucas Moripe Stadium as compared to them when they are playing at Loftus. Lucas Moripe has never been a favorite venue to host the Sundowns. You know, even when SuperSport was still around, when Sundowns is playing a Lucas Moripe, the chances of them winning are very, very slim. So iGolden Arrows bathole ngesikhathi esiright, endaweni right, yadila nabo right. But now it's up to Sundowns to make sure they go to Golden Arrows' yard and do the right thing. They have their right players and come back victorious. And we have a final that has 2 teams that are supposedly going to represent us continentally.
Yeah, 10-10. Let's hope it's going to be like that for the sake of Cardoso. I mean, this guy is a bitter loser, guys. I mean, I saw something yesterday where he said Orlando Pirates are getting less yellow cards. Last season, they got 29 yellow cards and no red card. The Sundowns got 4 red cards and more than 50 yellow cards. He says the referees must be fair. I don't know why the guy is always talking about Orlando Pirates. I've never heard a word speaking about Mamelodi Sundowns. So this guy, I don't know. This guy is not okay, guys. Yeah, he's not okay. Cardoso in his head, I think he's getting under pressure. He's scared that he might lose his job at Mamelodi Sundowns. I think the pressure is too much. That's why now he's starting to talk about Orlando Pirates, yellow cards, how many yellow cards. Honestly speaking, even last season, Cardoso lost to Richards Bay away from home. With all the best players, with everyone you can think of at Sundowns, they were there. Sundowns lost to Golden Arrows at home. I think it's going to be the same. I think they'll lose again, and the Golden Arrows obviously will reach the final to deal with Orlando Pirates. I honestly think, yes, Pirates fans, they are saying it's their cup. But if Golden Arrows goes to the final, it's not going to be a given that Pirates will win. Because the way I look at Pizzo can track this game to extra time and penalties. Then once it reaches to extra time and penalties, you never know what's going to happen. We saw that thing many times where teams like Paroka will drag Pirates all the way down, then deal with them. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game. Golden Arrows versus Mamelodi Sundowns at King Goodwin Zeliti Stadium. I honestly think Arrows will win. Yeah, 10-10. And there's another story as we're about to wrap. The coach of Bafana Bafana, Pitso Msimane, is saying, fine, you don't want to pay me the 16.8 million per annum, which is 1.4 million a month. It's okay. No problem. I accept the 10 million offer. Remember, the initial offer was 5 million, which works out to be around 400,000 a month, just above 400,000. He's saying, okay, it's fine. I'm accepting that 800,000 a month, which makes out to be 10 million per annum. Okay, it's fine. What about my image rights? I'm a brand. I'm Pitso Msimane. I've won 3 Champions League. I'm the best coach. And as his agent saying public, the agent of Coach Pitso, Mr. Gayton McKenzie, alleged, because it's very clear that it looks like Gayton is acting as an agent of Pitso Msimane. He's saying, Pitso is saying now, you know this guy, yeah. Now I remember that Pitso, anyways, Pitso is not giving back to the community. He doesn't want to give back in football. Even the Pitso school soccer, honestly speaking, 10-10, I don't even believe the school speed soccer is about Pitso developing talent. Because there's a friend of mine who works at Curo. He told me something that I didn't even want to say it. But now let me say it, because since Pitso now is saying SAFA must pay him to wear the Bafana Bafana tracksuit, a Standard Bank must pay him an Adidas, separate from the 10 million per annum salary. You can tell the guy it's all about money. It has nothing to do with Bafana Bafana. It has nothing to do with Bafana Bafana. It's like me and 10-10 saying, guys, we're updating you on football, this podcast, and then we say we love football, want to share what's happening, our knowledge on football, but hey, to watch this podcast. But we're doing it for you. We see that what you get on TV and radio is not good enough. Those guys are always like, but we feel like we can dissect it better. But we're saying pay to watch the YouTube. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. One, you're using your data, you're using your own cell phone to watch our content. Now we're saying, now you must pay. That's what Pitso is saying us. He's going to be paid his salary to be a coach of Bafana Bafana, which is 800,000 a month, which is a lot of money, guys, because Bafana Bafana is not even playing him once a month. Sometimes there's 3 months where they're not playing at all. The guy every month will be getting paid 800,000. Now he says he wants image rights where Bafana will pay, or Adidas or Standard Bank must pay him for, where I've never heard such nonsense in my life. What Pitso is doing now is nonsense. Straight away, it's madness. A very clear source of madness. Pitso has gone mad, guys. This is terrible. Allegedly, I think it's getting mad. Look, I heard that at Curo College 10-10, they are saying Pitso charges like 500 rand. That's what the person told me. Obviously, it's not proven yet. I will say allegedly, even though the person works there in IT. He says Pitso charges 500 rand per child to play soccer at Curo. He was telling Curo, I think last year, that you want every child. It's fine, you can charge 500 rand a month, because most of the agencies, they have to pay the coaches, they have to do those kind of logistics. It's fine, you have to pay. If maybe you want your child to go to a selected academy, it's fine. Even there are a lot of guys, some of my friends who are owning agencies. If they are making people pay, okay, it's fine. I'm not going to blame them, because one, they still need to pay maybe the rent of that place, the premises. They need to hire qualified coaches. The coaches, they still need to be paid also. There are a lot of logistics involved. So, and there's I don't know, but I just feel like I understand why people will take people in their academies where you pay. Even in the US, I heard that there is something like that where people pay. Okay, it's fine. We know that. Because teams like Pirates and Chiefs, obviously, they don't make you pay if you are joining their development or even bets. But here, you are paying with Pitso. Pitso who's giving back. Who's saying is trying to develop young kids for the future. He wants people to pay 500. It's understandable. If you want your child to pay soccer to be coached by his coaches who are qualified, is it fair that Pitso is charging 500 rand for a child? Guys, it's fair. I agree. Where's my problem? My problem is where was telling Kuro that even if any child that goes to a Kuro where he had a deal, because remember, selected Kuro schools have a deal with the Pitso soccer schools development. So he was saying every child in the school, he wanted the child to pay 500 rand. To a point where some Kuro wanted to withdraw from the partnership with Pitso. Obvious, I don't have facts. I'd asked the guys to send me a proof of payment of a child. Then he said he's gonna. I said no, it's fine. Don't send me. But I didn't want to raise this thing. That's why I'm saying it alleged. I'm beginning to believe it. I didn't believe it then that Pitso can say if your child goes to a Kuro where he has the arrangement of the school's academy, a child that wants to be part of the school's academy is 500 rand a month, which is fine. But he was now saying a child that goes to a school, he wanted 500 rand. Either the child wants to partake in the program or not. Guys, what is that? And what is giving back? You see, Patrice Motsepe, very successful billionaire, he gives back to the community. It does a lot for he gives back. That is kind of, Pitso saying is giving back, is developing the future. But why everyone must be paying? Now he's coaching Bafana 10 million per annum, which the money doesn't deserve because in the last time he coached Bafana, he failed. Dismal. He couldn't even beat a Sierra Leone or Niger or Botswana or Ethiopia. His record is terrible. I think in 17 games, he won only 6 as a Bafana coach. It's embarrassing. We need to say that. Obviously, the other people, they are not going to say it on TV. I don't know if they get brave or they want favors from Pitso, but us, guys, we're just saying football as it is. If we're going to say Kaizer Motaung Junior is failing at Kaizer Chiefs in signing quality players, why are we not going to say Pitso Mosimane is being unfair? If we're going to critique certain people, that is wrong to play Mbutuma? What is wrong? Because Pitso is just a coach, guys, right? Even the president, the still stories, he gets scrutinized. What is wrong? So, 10-10, what's your take about that as rep? For me, I think I've said enough. I'm just shocked that Pitso is now saying, on top of the Saral, the 10, Safa gave him 5 million. Obviously, they increased the offer to 10 million. Okay, it's fine. It's good. He's negotiating himself. I believe everyone, they must negotiate it themselves. Even if someone 10-10 can call you and say, come and MC in my event, you will negotiate with the person. It's fine. So what's your take about that, 10-10?
Yeah, Nadim, listening to what you're saying, it's quite a lot of information, to be honest, but very informative a bit. It's just my opinion, It's well within Coach Pitso's right to negotiate what he feels he deserves. And I always advocate for a black success, not to say I have a problem with the whites or the other genres, But for me now, whatever that he feels he negotiates and he feels within his facts, what he deserves, it's well within his right. And if they come to an agreement of saying, okay, we agree, you want this, you want that, that's his win. We shouldn't have a problem against that. And the deal that he had or agreed upon with the Kuro, if I was a parent and have a child, a Kuro, and I hear you saying what you are saying, I don't think I was going to agree to that. What if my child doesn't want to play sports or doesn't want to play soccer? He wants to be in a school choir, but still has to contribute and pay for the soccer extramural activities. It somewhat feels unfair. Only if my child wants to partake into the program, yes, then I'm subject to paying that amount of money because that's how it should go. And Coach Pitso, him as a brand that he is, he feels people should be playing like any other academies, Some parents, maybe they are paying even more than what he is charging, or some are charging lesser than what it's part of the program. You take your child where you feel you're going to pay whatever it is deserving. But if you're going to then say each and every child, as long as I'm going to be in the school, it somewhat feels unfair and selfish because there are girls who don't want to play football. There are some boys who wants to play chess. They want to, they want to swim. They want to play basketball. They want to play tennis. Why would I, as a parent, then have to pay an extra 500 rand that goes to eFootball, unless they make it mandatory to say each and every child that attends into the school, they are subjected to pay 500 rand for extramural activities, not to say it goes towards football, even when they are not partaking in football. No, that one I'm not in agreement with.
What about the one for Safa? That now Safa, he has accepted the 10 million, which is happy. Now we have a coach. It's so obvious Safa selected, I don't know for how, why did they select a guy who failed as a Bafana coach? What do you think about that now, the image rights that he wants him to be paid at Standard Bank, who will be in the Safa tracksuit? So it means then he will coach Safa, provided it is no Standard Bank or Adidas. If there's a Adidas, then he wants to be paid. Is that a fair asking? Or what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's quite tricky, Nadim, this one, depending on how his negotiations with ISAFA were based on. Because if I can take you back to the story Saka Kune that was popular and famous in and around going with a deal that he had done up, I think. He had said any sponsorship a player that is going to get while they are inside, then we are subjected to getting a cut. And they were doing that, reason being they are paying for the image rights of the people. So once another company wants to sponsor you, they want to use your images, but where else you've signed your image rights away to another company, which was Kaizer Chiefs at that time, then they are well within their rights to claim and say, listen, you're going to get a deal with it done up. And after getting a deal with it done up, you must remember, Wuti, now your image rights belongs with us. We have to make that decision. And if they are saying they're going to give you 50 rand, we want 20 rand of that, or we want 40, we'll give you 10. You are the one that signed your image rights away. So if Coach Pito's negotiations are not including of his image rights, he is well within his rights to say, listen, whatever that you are getting from Standard Bank, Mena, I want this from Standard Bank. For them or for me to advertise their product, because he is right, he's a brand. And Standard Bank is a brand as well that associated themselves with ISAFA. Hence, I'm saying I don't know what happened with the negotiations between Coach Pito and SAFA with him accepting. Yes, it somewhat felt a bit unfair. Yes, we know it's based on whatever. SAFA offered him 5 million based on what they thought was right. And he rejected the offer and said, no, I deserve this. I want this. And they come to a consensus to say, okay, we'll meet each other in this way. We can afford to give you 10 million. But if he then said, I'm agreeing to the 10 million, excluding of my image rights, he can then go back to SAFA and say, I'm not going to wear your Standard Bank, man. I will wear the SAFA brand because I am hired by SAFA, but not Standard Bank. I'm not going to wear your Adidas brand.
No, Ten, I disagree with you. The guy is a coach of Bafana Bafana.
Yes.
He wants to coach Bafana. Remember, Pito says he wants to coach Bafana. He wants to win AFCON.
But Bafana is not Adidas, Nadim.
No, Adidas is part of the SAFA. Adidas and Bafana and Standard Bank is the one that pays Pito Sarad already. The 10 million is going to come from the sponsor. The money that SAFA.
We are not
Remember,
sure.
SAFA? No, it is.
You know why I'm
it is.
saying that?
No.
You know why I'm
the
saying
money that you will pay. No, 10. The money that pays SAFA. Pito Sarad is the one that comes from Standard Bank, the sponsor. So for me, it's very stupid to say Titas, the money that comes from Pito Sarad will not be paid by the minister, Kating Mackenzie. Who's what? It's going to come from Standard Bank. It's already coming from Standard Bank and Adidas.
Okay, wait. Remember, and please hear what I'm saying, and I'm going to ask you a question. Based on negotiations, it differs. I could be a negotiator at Standard Bank negotiating with SAFA, and I say to SAFA, listen, we want to advertise our brand, which is Standard Bank, and we want to have the front view t-shirt. So we're going to put our badge here in front as the main sponsor, but we are going to pay for your travel and your hotel stays. We are not giving you money in physical cash. Then it means Standard Bank is not paying Pito's salary, but they will be accommodating Pito wherever he sleeps.
No, look, when you are joining Orlando Pirates, immediately you sign a contract with Orlando Pirates, you are agreeing that you will wear something with Vodacom here and something with Isuzu
and all of those. And remember,
Adidas and an Adidas kit. We are not going to say, I'm agreeing to be a Pirates player. then I cannot wear something with Adidas and Vodacom. I must be paid for that. That's nonsense. It doesn't happen. There's no coach.
Okay,
There's
but
no
listen,
deal like that.
Nadim,
It
remember,
doesn't. Peter's not an influencer. He's a coach. He wants to coach Bafana Bafana. The money that to pay the coaches is coming from Adidas, is coming from Standard Bank. That is where the money comes from. So you can't now say on top of that, oh, what are you coaching? Because Adidas and Bafana Bafana, it's a team that is sponsored by Standard Bank and Adidas. That is, you want to coach Bafana Bafana. You want to coach a team that is sponsored by Adidas and Standard Bank. That's what you want. So you can't now try and separate it. Peter must stop being selfish. For me, it's very selfish. It doesn't happen anywhere. You will never someone go and coach Kaizer Chiefs. Then you say, Kappa must pay you, Vodacom must pay you. It doesn't make sense, 10-10. It doesn't make sense. You can't reason it. It doesn't. No one can reason it.
but listen to this one. Hence, when we started, I said, depending on the negotiations that Coach Pito and Safa have, maybe Coach Pito, if Safa had agreed to giving him the same amount that they were giving Coach Hugo Broos, he was not going to have problems with wearing the Adidas brand that is showing Standard Bank and all of that. And remember, then if Coach Pito can then come back and say, all players, when they come to Safa to represent the national team, no one is going to use a different brand. They have to play in an Adidas soccer boot, socks, t-shirt. There are players that are endorsed by Puma. There are players that are endorsed by Nike. There are players that are endorsed by Under
No, you are
Armour.
missing it. No, you are missing it. You are missing it. You are missing it. A coach, if you are saying you want to coach Orlando Pirates, automatically you agree you wear something with Vodacom and Adidas. Automatically. Immediately you sign at the chairman's office.
And
You
you
agree to that.
sign
When you say you
according
want
to
to coach
whatever that you
Bafana
are happy
Bafana,
with.
when you say you want to coach Bafana Bafana, what are you coaching? You are coaching something. What is Bafana Bafana?
It's a national team. It's not
Sponsored by
Adidas.
who?
I'm not coaching Adidas.
Where do Bafana Bafana get?
They get it from different entities. They get it from...
No, unless you don't know. I'm telling you now for free. Bafana Bafana get money from Adidas and Standard Bank. I'm telling you as a fact.
So those are the only two places.
Yes, Bafana Bafana get money from those people. Those are the sponsors of Bafana Bafana.
They don't get from the Minister of Sport.
I am saying Bafana Bafana gets money from Adidas. I'm telling you now. Bafana Bafana gets money from Adidas. Bafana Bafana.
And
the minister can supplement when it's there. But Bafana Bafana, the people who are sponsoring, bankrolling Bafana Bafana now is Adidas and Standard Bank. The main person who's sponsoring Bafana Bafana is Standard Bank. Already, when you are saying you want to coach Bafana Bafana, when you say we want to coach Bafana Bafana,
I'm sure Bafana Bafana does get money from CAF as well. They do get money from FIFA.
Telling you, no, I'm telling you, when you want to coach Bafana, it's like Orlando Pirates. When you want to coach Orlando Pirates, the money comes from Vodacom. That's it. That's why Vodacom is in the chest. That's it. That's the reason. Why is there Vodacom? Because they pay to be there. It's simple. Any small money or any other money can come, is fine. But if you are going to Pirates to play, we are going to wear the Vodacom because the money that pays you is from Vodacom. They get 100 million per year. Or even Pete, if he is coaching Bafana Bafana, is agreeing to be part of Standard Bank automatically.
Yes, Nadim. If he's coaching Bafana Bafana, he's agreeing to be part of showing the Standard Bank brand, none. But Anisho, then it lies on the negotiations. And that's why I touched on the negotiating part. I said, depending on what they agreed upon, because when Safa says to Coach Pito, we are offering you 5 million, and Coach Pito says, no, the brand that I am, I don't think 5 million is enough for me. Where else you were paying a European coach 1.4 or 1 point whatever million. I think I deserve 1.4. And then Safa says, no, we think you deserve to be given at least 10 million then per annum. Because when you calculate whatever that Coach Hugo Broos was getting, it goes closer to 16 point something million. But they're saying, no, we can give you 10 million. And then maybe that's when this thing comes up.
But remember, Hugo Broos won AFCON. He came as a person who is a winner, not as a failure. He conquered Africa, Hugo Broos. And he had terms, and the guy is Belgium. In Belgium, when you convert the currency, it's different. In South Africa, 1.4 million is 1.4 million. In Belgium, 1.4 million is not 1.4 million. You know that, Tenten, right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah, so it's different to say you want to compare Pito's salary to Hugo Broos. For me, it's lack of understanding the currency that the guy we are getting a European coach is gonna pay tax here and also still pay tax in his country and all those kind of things. Peter is not gonna pay tax in Belgium. Hugo Bruce is obviously gonna pay tax in South Africa and then also pay tax in this country. All those kind of things we are moving out. So we are acting as if any coach is just a non-price, just like the salary at Orlando Pirates of Hot. If you are saying if Pirates release Hot, then Rapo. So you mean Rapo can say it's fine. I want also 450,000 or 500,000 a month from Orlando Pirates. You are saying that is fine because it's gonna do the same job Hoto was doing. It doesn't work like that in sports. This is sports. No, this is sport. This is not politics. In sport, it doesn't help like that.
He must negotiate according to his qualities, Nadim, you know.
Wait,
I don't like people who are negotiating in comparison of other people.
No,
you must negotiate based on whatever that you believe best suits you. You shouldn't negotiate on whatever that you feel
based on his quality.
Somebody else is getting or so then it's wrong. You have to negotiate on whatever that you believe you deserve, whatever that you feel it's right for you.
Correct.
Don't compare yourself to a person who is either playing in your position or to go into your negotiating battle. Negotiate based on your quality and your ability as a player, as an individual.
If he says, I am the best coach, the reason you want me, get this and this, I agree. So I don't know. So for me, I feel like 10-10. Pitso is a top coach. But Bafana, yes, they need a top coach. But a top coach who will be selecting players, not image rights. I think it's becoming too much, guys, honestly speaking. 10-10, I'm not sure if you can hear me. Okay, guys, this is NXL 360. I think 10-10, the network, a bit, obviously. Yeah. But we'll come again. That was our review. Orlando Pirates to win, and 10-10 believes Sundowns is going to play Orlando Pirates in the final. I believe Golden Arrows will play Orlando Pirates in the final. Guys, thank you so much. Keep on subscribing. If you want to contact us, obviously, our emails are there at the end of the show. Good night, everyone.